I wrote a history book called Words in Your Face about the history of the New York City Poetry Slam movement. And while I was on tour for that, a lot of people would say, well, now that you've written the book, are you done with slam? And I'm like, no, read the book. You will know you can never be done with slam, because it is more than just a poetry event that people attend and give scores to. It really becomes a family. And so instead of freshly answering this question, I just wrote a poem, as poets do. So this is my final piece of the night, and it is called For People Who Keep Asking Me Why I Still Slam. Because sometimes the microphone stand slouches like a bad boy whose neck I want to choke. Because sometimes the poems punch their way off my tongue, and other times I have to drag them through my rib cage by its hair. Because I have said things in front of rooms full of strangers that what I wouldn't even say to my own mother. And for good reason. Because I've heard poets say things in front of rooms full of strangers that have made me pulse, made me sweat, made me want to push farther, risk everything, be that beautiful. Because sometimes I have felt that beautiful. Because sometimes I have felt ugly too, and it was okay. Because I still have stories to tell. Because I have had my heart broken. Because I have had my heart broken and survived. Because I have had my heart broken, survived, and had someone tell me that the poem I wrote about it sucked. True story. Because I survived that too. Because of the bear hugs and the uh-huhs. Can I hear it? Uh-huh. Because of the venomous look we give to the guy whose cell phone goes off. Hey, asshole, can't you see we're listening to poetry here? Because people are listening to poetry here. Because there is poetry here. Every cracked voice, every stutter, every stumble, poetry. Every shaky piece of paper held in shaking hands, every nervous laugh, every awkward pause, poetry. Every braided head, every untied shoelace, every spilled beer, every yo, this is my first time doing this, every man, it's been a minute, but it feels good to be back. Every time a poet says this is some new shit, and the people in the audience lean forward like it's a dare, like they're looking for a light, and the poet's flint be sparking, because some nights I didn't feel like it, and those were usually the nights that I needed it the most, because I have won slams and it didn't make me any more of a poet, and I have lost them and it didn't make me any less of one either, because I have cheered until my throat ran raw, laughed and cried and fell on the damn floor like a fool for poetry, because I am a fool for poetry because of the poetry, because all of this is poetry. Thank you.